Alright, sorry about all that, guys. Sorry, my computer just started to have a stroke and everything just stopped working for a second there. My recording and audio recording kept going, but my mic stopped working and my game just crashed. Or it didn't crash per se, I just decided to stop doing anything. So, I got a black screen and then, yeah. Anyways, so, that's the big thing about this DLC now. You have a choice. Side with the slavers and try to get this cure for radiation going, have them, you know, enslave people and start rebuilding a society, and then eventually one day probably abolish the slavery and just let people work normally. But, you know, they have to get rid of the radiation first, and once that's gotten rid of and everything's built up, then, you know, they can eventually give everybody freedom and move on, but at the cost of having a lot of years of suffering and pain. And, you know, of course, there's also the oh, what's this turret control system? I can turn the turrets on them? That'd be really mean. There's also the fact that if you talk to Sandra, she does explain that if they would never hurt their daughter to make the cure faster. So if that means that it takes longer to do everything and everybody else has to suffer longer, well then they just sucks to be them, they should wait. If you think that a baby is allowed to be severely harmed for everybody else, as in, like, you know, you can make a cure faster. Okay, seriously. There we go. For crying out loud. Oh. Oh, wait. There you go. But yeah, if you think that, you know, you're doing nasty experiments on a baby to get the cure faster, at the cost, of course, the baby's health and potentially even maybe killing the baby one day once the cure is killed, survived, and everything, but you believe that that is okay as long as it creates a cure for the rest of the world, then you can choose to work with the slaves. So if you work with the slaves, you'll save them, but you'll also be giving the baby over to Warner and Medea, who make it clear they probably don't care about the baby as much because it's not their own child. You know, as you guys know, have a major soft spot for children and babies. But I really do not like seeing children get hurt. It's just something that just completely breaks my heart whenever I see that happen. Hence why once I finally realized that Megaton had children in it, when I blew it up I killed some children, I kind of broke down for a little bit. When I figured it out, I was like, oh no, what have I done? I was able to convince myself, of course, they're digital and they're not real, which is pretty obvious, but I like to roleplay as best I can, and I don't like killing children, so we will not give the child over to the slaves. So, baby monitor, met healthy and well. Troglodyte degeneration contagion researched by Dr. Sandra Kundanica. An epidemic of the environs around the pit, which I have named Troglodyte degeneration contagion, or simply TDC, appears to be the result of intensely concentrated radiation, but the unique toxins and pollutants in the pit cause it to be far more pervasive. Anyone living in TDC active areas experience skin lesions after a few weeks of exposure, which can clear up after a month or more away from the infected areas. For many healthy adults, this is the full extent of the effect. TDC also seems to interact with brain chemistry in a manner that produces a number of psychological effects. Even if the subject remains physically healthy, I'll need to recover more information about psychosis before attempting to enumerate these effects. Approximately 20% of adults will progress farther, losing higher reasoning and motor skills over the course of years, until they have degenerated into the bestial trog. No subjects have ever been recovered from full degeneration, although wishful rumors persist of trog retaining memories and recognizing the faces of loved ones. More tragic, however, is the fact that the children born in TDC active areas have a virtually 100% degeneration rate, often becoming feral within weeks of birth. Ooh. No wonder they need slavery. They have to, like, who would want to work in these conditions, right? They know with these cure, they can get this entire place working. They know with the cure they're able to get everybody healed up, and they know that with this steel mill and this iron and all this stuff that you can get here, all the resources you can get, can rebuild. You can start getting people to work and rebuild a society in this place. The problem is just that it's such a nasty place that nobody would want to work here in their right mind. Everybody, if you would want to work here, you'd have to go in for a couple weeks and then leave for about a month. to slowly heal up all that pain you got through, only to go then back in and go back out and back in. I don't think that's ever been tested, so who knows what effects that will have on the body. So, and of course there's the mental, where it's the chance of people going crazy and killing each other and things like that. So it's like, it's a really nasty place to work. So they have to hire slaves and slavers to, well, they have to capture slaves, and you have to hire slavers to get all the job done. They have to hire nasty people who are willing to enslave people, and they need slaves. They need to force people to build up the society first before they can start going into normal territory. I see. All right. So, observational tests on isolated samples suggest that the subject has a natural adaptive immunity to the so-called Trog mutation. Furthermore, it appears that this mutation carries on to other forms of radiation-inducing diseases, from radiation sickness to larger mutations such as the all-too-common development of a sixth toe. Attempts to isolate these effects have been slow-going, due in part to the delicate nature of testing. Prospects exist for duplication, but the unique and delicate nature of the subject requires the utmost care in testing. Of course, talking about the baby, right? So, I guess that's just like kind of keep it hidden in case you haven't found out that it's the baby yet. And of course, it's the diaries I wanted to read. So,
test 1, 2. Looks like this thing is on. Marie, if you're there, this is your father speaking. Ishmael Asher, sometimes called Lord of the Pit. Now I hope you're hearing this 10 years from now. Sitting on my knees safe and sound. Right about now, I bet I'm looking pretty silly. But things don't always work out the way we'd like. There are a lot of risks, including what your mother would do if she heard me talking like this. And I'm not about to risk leaving you alone without knowing where you came from. These tapes are for you, so you can know who your father really was. Marie, the first thing you need to know is that I wasn't always the Lord of the Pit. Long before I was a king, I was a scholar and a soldier. In fact, I was in the Brotherhood of Steel. You've probably heard about them, but you may not have heard what we did to the city. The Scourge. When we came here, the Pit was just a breeding ground for trogs, cannibals, and worse. Commander had us torch the place and take what we could. The Pit had useful technology, but it was suicide to stay here. So when an explosion left me buried in the mill, my brothers were sure I was dead. I don't blame them for leaving. I probably would have. We thought nothing could live in the Pit. We were wrong. Marie, you know those fights in the mill's arena? Well, its first fight was when I woke up to someone pulling me out from a pile of rubble. At first, I thought it was my brothers pulling me to safety. Instead, it was a scavenger trying to steal my armor. She didn't get it. But I learned she had a whole family of scavengers. They'd make raids into the city for gear from the mill. And that gave me an idea. This was the only working steel mill we'd ever seen. In a world of leftovers, it was a chance to build again. And that was worth any price. The scavengers saw me as a god. So along with my Brotherhood know-how, it was easy to set up the basics. We started to build a city. As word of a new settlement got out, the city started growing, and fast. When raiders attacked, I'd kill the leader and recruit the rest. I had to. The city's disease meant we couldn't have children, so recruiting was the only way to grow. And as we grew, the mill needed more workers. And yes, that meant recruiting workers by force. I'm not proud of it, but it's the only way to keep the city supplied and armed. But it was always a temporary solution, until our best scientists found a way to cure the city's epidemic. Sandra and I worked on it day and night. And after one particularly late night of work, we were blessed with a cure. It's the cure inside you, Marie. Even now, we're doing everything we can to figure out how to share your gift with the city. safe, of course. So by the time you're old enough to hear this, you'll already be a hero. Congratulations, Marie. You've already saved us all. I knew you would.
Alright, and that is Asher's sort of point of view. So after listening to that, actually, all my rage towards the slavers have kind of gone. I don't like the slavers, and they're all like jerks, and I want to kill them all. But at the end of the day, it's very weird. You guys are going to see a part of me that shows that I am not that good of a person when it comes to virtual worlds. I have a very logical way of thinking about things, and very little empathy about people. So when it comes to video games, when it comes to real life, I wouldn't do this. This just feels way too inhuman to do. But when it comes to that video game world, hell yes. I do believe that the slavers in this scenario are kind of, they're not doing the right things. They're not doing the morally correct things. But their efforts are leading to potentially building back what has been lost, you know. Don't get me wrong, it's a very, very long and incredibly difficult mountain to climb to build back after a world has been destroyed like this. But I do believe that if Asher stays in power long enough and gets this cure, and of course gets all this ready and set to go, and people stop dying, and people can start having children again, and all that fun stuff, if all that starts happening, you realize that that could be the beginning of an entire new society. That could be the beginning of humanity as a whole once again. It's right there, because they have a steel mill. They have the ability to actually create, to actually build. They're not just killing people, stealing their stuff and moving. They have the ability to build. They'll have the ability to cure radiation and mutations. So then they'll be able to stop having to worry about things like, you know, super mutants potentially. I mean, super mutants aren't radiation, they're FEV, that's different, you know. They won't have to worry about like the animals in the area being completely destroyed, dangerous. They won't have to worry about people dying from radiation sickness and cancer constantly and things like that, you know. And they won't have to worry about trogs anymore. You know, all that will be gone. It'll just, once that cure gets made, you can tell there, that's Asher talking to his daughter. That's a father to daughter. That's not a, like an image, you know, in front of people. I do honestly believe that Asher has his heart in the right place, and that he's simply doing a necessary evil to do some good in the world. And I do believe in necessary evils, necessary ones, not just everyday heroes or like just like, oh, it's the easier option of the two. It feels like a very necessary evil to have to force people to work here, because I mean, nobody's gonna work here in their right minds to rebuild a society. You're never gonna get enough people on board to sacrifice and throw their lives away like this, just so that the potential chance of a cure, you know, because they don't know if the cure is possible. I'm pretty sure the cure will be possible. It feels like it very much will be, but the problem is, sure, it might take longer, but I don't think Werner or Medea would be willing to use that cure to its full effect. They would just want to create a cure, heal their slaves, and potentially go around and heal people they like, and that's it, right? And they're also gonna freaking, you know, probably completely ruin the child's life, if not eventually kill the child while getting the cure out of it. You know, like, I don't think they care about the child as much as Asher and Sandra do. So of course that's already a no in my book, but I feel like with Asher in control as a leader, you know, and as somebody who truly wants to rebuild, who truly wants to, like you said, like he likes to call in the slavers workers, not just because he keeps morale up, but I think it's because he just genuinely doesn't like the idea of having to be a slaver. He doesn't like it. He just knows that it's a necessary evil, you know? And he doesn't feel like he's gotten like out of control or power hungry. Like, you know, he still tries to make the workers fight, you know, to like gain their freedom, you know. He tries to give them that chance, but at the same time he has to keep control, you know. He has to keep things under control, so he has to do it in a way that like makes people realize like, oh, yeah, we can fight our fair freedom, but we're still under control, you know. So that's why he does the fights. You know, instead of just saying, okay, now you've worked hard so you can get out, you've worked hard so you can get out, you know, then people start getting infighting, and people start trying to sneak their way out by like pretending to be good, or it's like you don't want that. So that's why the pit flyers just go and like the slaver. Okay, who's gonna go next? They're still down, but they at least have a chance, right? I think that's why he does the whole fight thing. And not only that, but as you can tell, he also used that as a way to sniff me out too. You know, like he knew the moment I caught, I was like, okay, yeah, you're definitely not normal. Who the hell are you? You know, so it feels like it just does a bunch of necessary evils to eventually work towards a brighter future. And I personally believe that is good, especially since so far the slaves have been no better than the slavers. So the slavers themselves suck, you know. But I feel like with Asher in control, and as powerful as he is,
hey, speed it up, Twinkle Toes. There's work to be done.
I think that eventually he'll be able to turn all this around. It's just a matter of getting that cure so that people can suddenly finally start having a peace of mind, knowing that they're not going to die within the next 2-3 weeks, knowing that, you know, they'll be able to have their own children finally, and all that stuff, right? So, oh right, there's
This ends now. It's gonna blow.
unnecessary. Yeah, so there's also a thing going on. So let's fight with slavers, shall we? I think both the slavers and the I think the both slavers and slaves don't care, right? So
What serious? You.
let's get out of here, shall we? Actually, there are red dots. Are they trogs?
That'll teach you to mess with
I can't tell, actually. I can't tell what's going on right now. Let's just go through all this. So let's not fight anything. Let's not bother. Oh, these are locked. Although the slaves definitely don't like me. I guess it's because I didn't kill Asher or I didn't take the baby. So they don't like me now. That's fine. You want to go? You want to go? No, I didn't think so. It's right. You know better. You want to go? Huh? Huh? You want to go? Didn't think so. Of course, the game says it's the evil option to fight the slaves and to work with the slaver. But you know what? I think there shouldn't really be a good or evil option because one of them is a necessary evil for now, for a brighter future, while the other one is just the other one is just evil, but no, you know, the other one is just a little bit of good now, but no future later. You know, sorry, that's what I meant to say. Where am I going? Downtown. Yeah, I can't get there though. Hello? It's not downtown. Okay, one moment, guys. Let's try to figure this out. Oh man, it's motion blur or whatever. It's my eyes. There we go. And now we're in downtown again. Of course, if you side with the slaves, the slavers, they also have a very one-sided fight because the slaves really suck compared to slavers. So, you know. There's also that on your side.
Did I hit him?
Let's go find Medea.
grinder.
Alright, Medea's quarters. Let's save. She's not gonna be happy with me.
So, I suppose you signed on with Asher and his kind, did you? You're not the first to win their freedom and forget where they came from.
I'm not a slave like you guys. I didn't come from you guys. You guys lied to me, brought me here, and got me kidnapped by the guys. And then you instantly told me to do all the work for you guys to then try to get out of here instead of doing this all on your own. I'm showing around. I wouldn't shut your mouth, slave.
Oh, now I see how it is. Think you're going to become Asher's new lieutenant, do you?
Nah.
Maybe wait until you can take his throne? I've seen your type come and go, and they always leave town face down in the river.
Oh, I'll kill you.
So fine. You picked your side, and you made your choice. See where that takes you.
Right to the capital A, somewhere along. I can't believe you're going to steal a baby from her loving parent.
It's not like we were going to harm her. We just needed to kidnap her for our freedom. Look, sometimes these things have to happen. Okay. Werner was the one who wanted to steal the baby. I just wanted our freedom. I didn't think about what it would take. Werner's hiding in the steel yard. Look for a rooftop door in the southwest. There, are you happy? Go! Just stop looking at me like that.
Werner's not the idea. Okay. Secure the site for the bundle, have it sent to shack below the blast furnace and Stutter. Door will be clear when the fighting starts and marked with a bright blue light to keep out trogs. Asher and his family will get what's coming to them. Alright, so I wanted to kill you, but you know what? Fine.
What a waste you turned out to be.
Why isn't going to change anything except getting the slaves killed?
They'd rather die for freedom than die working for the raiders.
Right.
Watch your back out there.
But you're still a really, really big pissed off annoying person. I'll admit, it sucks. It sucks. There's no good way of looking at this. There's no easy good way to looking at this. You do the evil side, you do the slaver side, and you get a brighter future, but at the cost of many innocent lives. I understand that. I do, and it really sucks. But you do the slave side, then you save a couple innocent lives, and then everybody dies anyways. It doesn't make a difference. At least we have to choose a side that has a chance. We have to choose a side that has a chance of actually making it through all this. Your side. It's not one of them.
It's true. I'm nothing but trouble.
Alas, it had to be done. It wasn't the idea of kidnapping the child. If kidnapping the child would lead to a brighter future, then goddamn I would. Actually, think about it, no, I wouldn't. I just can't do that to a child, no matter who asked me to. But, like, if killing 1 million innocents meant saving the entire world for the billions upon gazillions of humans that are going to be after that, then yes. If the game told me so, I wouldn't be able to do it myself in real life. Screw that, I ain't killing nobody in real life. But in the game, hell yes. Hell yes, I would. Because, logically speaking, that's the most sensible option. It's the only option that works. You know, it's the option that actually gets everybody out safe and sound. What, me?
Hey there.
Let's get out of here, though. Some people are still just casually working.
Help me!
Well? Oh, you, pit slave. Well, the proper application of medicine to this man's injuries could be lessened enough that he could be fighting better. Not completely cured. The only way to end his suffering is to end his life. So you can treat his injuries, and he'll be able to get back to work, but he'll be suffering for the rest of his life. You can end his suffering and kill him, or you can just do nothing and just leave him there. I believe in the idea of mercy kills. Always have. Hey Marco, how you doing? Oh, you're evil? I thought you'd be with the slavers. Get over here, Marco. Oh no, you were the gun guy. You weren't the snitch. You were the gun guy. All right. Also, apparently blue lights keep trogs away. That's interesting to note. I always feel like the game's gonna freeze on me every time I go to a new area. Oh, blue. No, that's not the blue light. Where am I going here? Warner's hideout. Alright. Let's do this then, Warner. Ow. Ow. Bad. Blue light is here. Is that it right there? Am I actually here, or? Actually, no, it's this way. Blue light. Blue light. Is it up top? Might be. I want to buy it again. It's probably gonna be up top then. And there's people riding even over here. Terrible place to be riding. Well, it's really dark. There you go. Over here maybe? Ah, here we go. Oh, level up at the right time. Oh boy. Apparently enemies are nearby. Okay. Werner's hideout.
Ah, you finally made it. I've got everything ready, and there are plenty of tests to run, so hurry up and put the... Wait. Where's the cure? Did you lose it? Where is that little bastard?
Pantora Werner. Asher knows everything.
And you just went along with him, did you? To hell with everyone else but you, huh?
Not to hell with everybody, you guys.
I thought that you, of all people, would understand that sometimes you have to get your hands dirty to make a difference.
Exactly.
But you're just a coward. Afraid of making a choice.
I made one.
Afraid of changing the world.
I am going to change the world. I like how Black Widow's this overpowered. You can literally just make this fight not happen. I guess no other option, though. Goodbye, Werner.
You're just going to be their tool right up to the bloody end, aren't you? Bye-bye, tool.
Wait for the man.
I knew I heard
He's literally just using himself to try to save slaves and kill everybody else in the world. There was no other appropriate weapon but the Mauler to do this. Frag grenades, power plant key, and there you go. And now I can return to Asher and tell him what happened. I mean, it is possible to just go kill Asher now. And leveling up. Level 25. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Energy weapons need to start going up as well because I just need my LA weapons to be more powerful. After that, I think like the last like 4 levels, I'll probably just put all of it into melee weapons. Got one more point. I mean, I guess I might as well get the very hard ones ready, right? So, cause it's average, hard, very hard, and then like the mass ones, like the last ones. So, might as well start getting that up a bit. And level 25 perk, man, what is there to pick? Nothing much as far as I know. Oh, whoops, don't want to unplug my controller here. I really don't know. Life Giver maybe? Life Giver is always a good choice. I think I'm just gonna take where is it? Intense training? Put it into luck, of all things, believe it or not. Oh, but no, there would be no point to doing so now. Because we're getting really close to getting it maxed out. Oh, I can't go back, actually. Oh, too late then. I've already put it through. Can't go back. You know, yeah, I'm gonna put it into luck just so I get my luck a little bit higher, so my jack weapon can be a little bit more powerful. A little bit weird to start putting the points into that now, and I know at the moment I said it, I realized it was a mistake to do, but that's fine. But yeah, as he was talking, you can tell like he clearly didn't care about the kid. He was like just a little brat, you know, the cure. And clearly, he didn't actually care about the kid, you know. All he saw in that kid was the cure. So apparently there are ways to make tests more violent at the cost of being faster, you know. The bonus of being faster, you know. That's what the girl said, like, you know, yeah, sure, our tests might take longer, but they're safe for her. You know? So if anybody has to wait to then suck speed down, they'll wait. He wouldn't have cared. He would have made this faster tests at the cost of the child's safety and health and such. So screw that. Oh, that's scary. I didn't know Trogs could, like, feel that. God, they're like sentient, fast zombies. It's gonna hurt. Actually, I'm fine.
Move along, please.
I think so. But yeah, no, like I said, I like how the slaves are like, oh yeah, sure, only you, right? You're, like, I like how the game kind of makes it as if like you're doing it because of for your own gain. I'm doing it because I do genuinely believe that Asher can make the world a better place. That this is a necessary evil to make the world a better place. That's I thought it's never an option. It's never like we can rebuild. All you have to do is use a few more people, get a cure, and we can rebuild this place. But no, that's not. The game just wants to make you the bad guy. Everybody wants to look at you as if you're like care only about yourself. I don't care only about myself though. I just think that is actually the right choice to do, even as terrible and dark as it is. We live in a post-nuclear war world. I'm sorry, but the options are very minimal. They're a dying person. I don't see him, so. Yeah, like, we live in a post-nuclear war, you know, like, it's not gonna be all sunshines and rainbows, you know? Never was and never will be, and whatever options we have to rebuild the world would be incredibly difficult if they were all sunshines and rainbow. It would require the effort of a lot of people, and right now, this is just one of those places where that's just not an option. Sure, there are probably better options than what we're doing. I mean, it probably could be things such as like if we could probably move the cure to someplace safer, you know, like down into the wasteland. But the problem is that this area here is under their control. They have this area in lockdown, you know. Nobody can just come in. If they go somewhere else, they'll have to deal with the fact that people might want to take their child, just like Warner was about to, and, you know, use it, right? So, game load, please. Thank you. Alright. But yeah, there's a little bit of a delayed reaction on my part, but that's fine.
Good to see another mean bastard in the pit.
Now they all like me.
Could be worse, pal. Hey, if it isn't the newest addition to our little family. You hit the jackpot now, whiz kid. You're in Asher's army. Now's when the hard work really starts.
No, that's not how they work hard.
I hope so, for your sake. You screw up down in the mill, you just get a beating. It's harsh, but it heals. But if you screw up when raiding a caravan, you get gut shot and bleed out in the dirt. So you better be as tough as you think you are. But I do what I can to keep our mistakes from being too fatal. If you need to drop some rats, I'm here to help.
Oh, I could use some help.
Then say no more, friend. Can't share much, but they should do the trick.
Alright, nice. Radaway added. Cool. It's just free Radaway, I guess. I guess every day you can come see him and he gives you a Radaway, probably. I have 214 stim packs. I'm never dying again unless it's one shot or I'm being stupid.
Lulu is watching you.
What? Looking good, newbie.
Lulu?
Well, if it isn't Asher's newest pet, he doesn't let many mongrels into his mansion. Him and his keen eyes must see something special in you, so Lulu's going to keep her eyes on you, too.
What do you mean about Asher's keen eyes?
The Lord of the Pit knows all, and his eyes see promise where others see rubble. What does he see in you? A cure? A scourge? Or maybe nothing more than a plaything? Soon, Lulu will see what lies inside you. But first, perhaps Asher's pet needs to be fed.
Yeah, have some food.
Then here, delicious food for you. Eat and be good.
Creepy. But you know what? I like creepy, that's fine. Let's make our way to the big building, shall we? It's interesting, because I think if you give it to Werner there, then Werner tells you to go finish off Asher, then you have to come over here and fight Asher in like a final battle. But now that I done this tonight, the way that Asher wanted me to, I just realized you can actually just walk like this. Weird way to get through here, but that's fine. Now we just have to go inside and talk to him.
Fucking peons.
If it ain't the devil in person.
I knew I could trust you, and I wasn't disappointed. Werner's been stopped. The workers are returning to their rightful place. The pit has a bright future ahead of it, and so do you.
What do you mean by the city's future?
Now that Marie's back, we have a chance at curing the disease that's been ravaging the pit since the bombs. Without it killing our kids, we can grow like a real city. No more bringing in slaves. No more forced labor. Things can get better. It's taken me a lot of work to rebuild this city. With your help, it's finally going to have a chance.
And he's not wrong. If he stays true to his word, which I believe Asher does. Like I said, like we've seen him not just talking to us, but we've seen him just like leaving notes for his daughter. That's like father to daughter, and that's very rare for that trust. It's possible that he's lying to his daughter too, but I don't feel like he would. Asher feels like a genuine person, like a person that actually would do it. Sure, he had to get a lot of slavers to do it, and he had to get just the circumstances ended up that he needed to do all this, but I do believe that he's, you know, he means it, you know?
Right now, nothing. Until we can reproduce a treatment from Marie, they'll have to keep working. Otherwise, this city falls apart.
Harsh truth.
But once we do have a cure, things will be different. We won't need to kidnap people for our city. We'll be able to grow naturally. Until then, this is the way it has to be. It's just what has to be done.
And I agree, Asher. That's why I joined your side. I didn't join you because I wanted to be some lieutenant. I didn't join you because I wanted to be some guy that could potentially take over the throne. I just believe it's the correct thing to do, as dark as it is.
You've kept the city in one piece and put a stop to Werner's plans. Yeah, I guess you've earned one. As a full citizen of the pit, you'll have full access to the ammo press in the mill. It's how I keep my soldiers well armed. So make good use of it. And I think Sandra's made some progress with the cure. So here's a little something to help with radiation.
Medical research from the pit has improved your life. Just try to think of what it may cost others. But if I help the slaves and the whole idea of potential society finally building crumbles, and we'd be back to just being scroungers and scavengers and just killing each other for survival, that's what we'd be back to, you know? That's the problem. That's the problem with all this. And I don't think Werner and Medea had any plans to, once again, force people to work down here, you know? It just feels like, I don't know. It feels like a necessary evil. It feels like a very necessary evil. Alright, so what do I do now? So I guess I don't know. So what do I do now?
That's up to you. We'll keep working on the cure and keep the city running. You're free to come and go as you like. Of course, you can help out at the mill by collecting metal from the steel yard.
Already done.
It helped lighten the load on the workers. And if you want to work on Sandra's good side, you can always bring her toys for Marie. It's a little thing, but it'd make a difference.
Do you ever miss the Brotherhood of Steel?
Not in the slightest. During the Scourge, we looted the pit and left the rest of it to rot. I was just a dumb convert who got stuck here afterwards. See, beneath it all, the Brotherhood's just lazy. It's easier to loot a dying city than to work to bring it back to life. So that's what they did. They're so obsessed with the technology of the past, they don't care what needs to be done for today and tomorrow. It takes real hard work to rebuild and run a city. But there isn't a machine to do it for them, so the Brotherhood isn't interested. Good riddance.
Preach it, my man. I hate the Brotherhood too. I hate them so much. So I agree with Asher on that case. It's true. The Brotherhood just kind of goes in, forces people to give them all the technology in the world, and they safekeep it. The Brotherhood does do one good thing, is that they don't like using the technology as evil. They're not evil. The Brotherhood has never been an evil organization. They never want to just hurt people, but they don't care to do it either. They don't mind doing it. They just don't. They don't actively go out of their way to do it. But I mean, if you have technology that they want, they will go in, they will burst down your door and kill everybody in that building to take it from you. They don't care, you know. But if you're not actually a threat to them, then they don't care. They're not going to kill you for the sake of it. But at the end of the day, that's all they do. They collect technology, and I mean, that does keep it out of the hands of people who would misuse it. You know, that's very important. Like, they will go in and they will take technology from criminal organizations and stuff like that, and dangerous groups, like the Enclave, for example, you know. But I say the Enclave. The Enclave is nasty, actually. The Enclave is evil. It's weird. The Fallout 3's Enclave isn't as bad, but Fallout 2's Enclave, and I don't know if Fallout 1 has it. I'm pretty sure Fallout 2 has the Enclave in it. And Fallout 2's Enclave, or Fallout 1's, one or two, or maybe both, I don't know, but the older Enclave is definitely really bad. And there's actually a lot of backstory involving the Enclave and why some of the nastier things happened within the Wasteland because of them. The Enclave is like a very nasty little organization of their own. So like, they take on the Enclave and they hold them off, and they take out sewer mutants. You know, like, they think sewer mutants are an abomination, and oh god, I'm yelling, and should die. So of course they're gonna go after, you know, sewer mutants and stuff like that. So I mean, there's once again a few moments here and there where it causes issues, but in most cases they have the right idea. Their heart's in the right place. You know? So just like Asher, their heart's in the right place. It's just that they're so paranoid and they hate the outside world so much, except for themselves, that they're not willing to actually help people. They're only going to do it if it will benefit them, you know? And it's kind of weird in that sense. Fallout 3's Brotherhood is the only good Brotherhood so far. And I mean, Fallout 4 has an interesting Brotherhood as well. They're sort of good, but they're also sort of old school. They're like a really weird mix of Fallout 3 and Fallout 1 and 2's Brotherhood. You know, like they're a mix of all the Brotherhoods together. So it's weird. But anyways, how's Marie doing?
My little Marie is the very picture of health. And eventually, she'll make it possible for a new generation of healthy babies in the pit. You know, I always wanted to make the pit a strong city. But that was because I wanted to make my mark on the world. But when Marie was born, that changed. Now she's my reason to make the pit succeed. Because she's depending on it. It's just something a parent has to do for their child. You understand?
Even more reason to trust Asher to make this place a good place, because he has his daughter. And he sounds like a genuine father that would actually want his daughter to have a future, you know? So, like I said, Asher is a very misunderstood hero. He's a hero, but he has to do a necessary evil within the harsh world. So it's very much a character that, like, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with slavery. I don't agree with the idea of, you know, forcing people into nasty conditions, watching them die and bringing in new ones and kidnapping people and taking them away. But it's all for a brighter future. And they're coming close to the point where they're finally going to have a cure, and then all that's going to be gone. They'll just have kids and people will be able to move on. Like, once people get cured and once the new generation starts coming in, and once they can start actually like going and saying, hey, come work for the steel mill, come make a future, and people will actually have a reason. We have a cure for radiation. You know, like, once they start saying things like that and people start coming to help them out and everything, I'll be like, yeah, no, the pit's future is very bright. It's just a matter that its present is dark, and that's what a lot of people get blind with. They see slavery and they immediately say evil must be stopped. But the simple fact is, I believe that Asher is a leader that could get it done. That's another thing, that you need a powerful leader to lead all this. This is not an easy task. Asher must be one of the most stressed out humans in all of history. You know, like just like all the other like those big leaders we've seen who've done major things in the world. You know, they've all been super big stressed out people, and he's probably one of them because he has to deal with a lot of stuff, man. So, and I don't think Werner or Medea have the heart or the vision to do something like that. I think Medea and Werner would just be like, okay, yeah, we got a cure, we saved our slaves, our friends, and now let's move on with our lives, you know? Let's go back and survive in the wasteland, you know, or wherever we go. Asher feels like he actually wants to make progress. So, if sacrifices have to be made, then they have to be made, you know?
I guess I've got a moment since Marie...
How about Toys for Marie?
Oh, you'd be such a lifesaver. A happy Marie means I can get some sleep once in a while. She seems to really enjoy teddy bears. She just can't seem to get enough of them. Bring as many as you can, and I'll make sure you're well paid for the effort.
Right, so that's why I had a teddy bear. Okay.
My little angel is just the healthiest baby in the world. She just couldn't be doing better. Wish I could say the same about the research for a cure, but that can't be rushed now, can it? Honestly, it'd help us all if she got some new toys to play with. The happier she is, the easier it is for me to do research.
Alright, I'll go get her.
Come back again soon.
I'll go get Marie. Oh, she's so adorable. Oh my god, she moves. I don't know if that's like a Project Beauty thing or if the baby actually moves. Last time I checked, I thought she didn't move. I thought it was just like a solid object. Oh, that's adorable. Alright, if we see any teddy bears, we'll bring him back.
Hey, it isn't quick draw.
What I call Quick Draw?
Not interested.
Nice, I have the name Quick Draw, that's awesome.
Scram.
I want to kill all of you. Alright, sorry, habit.
Good to see another mean bastard in the pit.
So, that's everything. That is, the pit complete. Yeah, I just realized I could probably been fast traveling, but yeah. Let's go back to the train yard. Wow, I actually got the pit completed? Interesting. I didn't get to see everything in the pit, of course, but I did get to see the 100 iron ingots, which I think is the thing that a lot of people want to see in these kind of let's plays, because they want to be able to like find them all themselves, you know? I mean, the reward you get for it isn't as good as like, you know, what you can get in the wasteland, like the T45 or T50B armor. T51B armor, it just ends up being more powerful than whatever you get in here, and you know, Vengeance is more powerful, Jack is more powerful than the Mauler, though depending on your build. I mean, if you don't have better criticals, you don't have all that kind of stuff for critical hits, Mauler's definitely better. I mean, you get a Metal Blaster, but I mean, Tri-Beam Laser Rifle is better, you know? Where is the Metal Blaster anyways? Do I have it equipped right now? I do, yeah, there you go. Yeah, sure, you get this thing here, but I mean, in the day, this thing is better once you reach later game, right? So you don't get anything rewards that's really key. Like Mauler is just a good melee weapon in general, but I don't know. It's still a fun little DLC, and I do like how only Point Lookout where it's just like choose Calvera or choose Desmond because whoever you like more, and kind of just do your thing. You know, just kind of do an adventure, be a guy who, you know, gets stuck in like this rivalry between scientists and, you know, things like that. This one's a lot more about like Fallout's morale questions and like, do you sacrifice the slaves for a potential brighter future, or do you give up on that future and choose to just save the slaves in the moment? You know, like, do you choose the good option now at the cost of potentially breaking something that could save the world, or do you take that sacrifice and you make something out of it? You know, like it's those. There's no easy option. As much as a lot of people will say, yeah, just beat the slavers. Slavers are obviously evil, and yeah, the slavers there are evil, but they're working for Asher, who's good, and they see Asher as a god. You know, they really do. They see him as a god and as a being that they can look up to. And I mean, Asher, one hell of a leader if he got all that set up on his own. You know, like alone, he managed to get all those guys to work for him and get all that set up. You know, like that's impressive. You know, and now he has a child that has a goddamn cure for radiation. You know, the guy is one lucky and really intelligent and strong man. You know, so like it's just at the end of the day, sometimes the better choice is the evil choice. You know, it's very, very, very strange. It's a very, very hard choice, and I mean, I wouldn't look down on anybody who picks the save the slaves option. I would never look down on anybody who takes the save option, but I also would never frown at anybody who picks the slaver option, just because it could lead to a good future. So here we go. But that is the pit, and wow, we finished that in a single session. Nice. That feels good. That feels good to know that I got all that done so quickly. Nice. That leads us back to the Capital Wasteland as we leave. Oh god, the laggy pit behind. God. As we leave the pit behind, we return to the wasteland once more. Pick up a carton of cigarettes, chessboard by accident, move on with our lives. As we return back. Tenpenny Tower. Return home. And prepare for our final quests. If they would let me in. Rude.
Give me a second. Keep your...
God, why is it lagging so much? Stop lagging. Stop lagging. It's still loading everything back in, because I think it just temporarily like unloads everything within the wasteland. Now it's like getting everything back together, so it's going to be lagging for the first few minutes.
Hey.
Tenpenny Tower. Still one of the biggest mistakes I've ever done, I think. But alas, sometimes we're not perfect, and sometimes mistakes have to be made, and I was a very desperate person back then.
I hope things are going well for you today, madam.
If I could undo it though, I would undo the Megaton explode the nuke, and I would undo the Tenpenny Tower massacre, or the Ghoul massacre. Those would be the two things I would undo in all this. But alas, we live out our mistakes. I do have a teddy bear. Give me one quick second. Here you
good to
go.
see you again. Thanks. And Marie says thanks too.
And 30 bottle caps. Cool.
Come back.
Marie, you got a little teddy bear. Alright. Now that that's done and over with, let's go actually back to the Capital Wasteland. I thought I had sold the teddy bear. I lost it.
Keep walking.